Peace and blessings. This is your brother Gabar, and this is IAMFITPodcast coming to you live from the Boogie Down Bronx. Are you fit to go God's way? Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I just want to talk to my brothers and sisters, but especially to you brothers, because it is a man show for man, by man, for the betterment and the enlightenment of the species in which God put in charge here on earth, which happened to be men. You know, we had done a horrible job maintaining this planet, maintaining his commandments and his will. But as God's calling out, is there a thing that we can identify now if you've been chosen by God? This is my theory. I would like to be challenged. Can we identify the personality type that has been chosen by God? And I'm speaking to those that believe in God. If you don't believe in God, there's not a show for you. You could check something else. And I'm in a situation that I'm pondering on my life and why I have, why I think the way I think, why I feel the way I feel. It has been preordained. So I want to go into these 5 points in a few minutes, but I just want to go into my rant if you guys don't mind. Because I've been in situations that I've been in, whether either a church or either an organization, a job, or something, and you never fit, right? You never fit with everyone else. You always feel like an outsider. And is it something that we could now detect, or are we getting closer to identifying the personality type? Are you chosen by God? I'm just asking. Are you one of the chosen ones? Has God predestinated you to do something? You don't know what that is. And that's the reason why you always feel out of place wherever you go. Because you haven't found your niche, your purpose. So I want to have a conversation about this particular subject today, which is near to my heart. And before we start, just give me a thumbs up, guys. Make sure you guys can hear me. I want to see if I can hear your myself. Purpose. Okay, I could hear myself. That's good. And let's see here. I need to put this over here. Adjust this over here. There you go. And where I go? Let me see here. Bada bing, bada bing. Okay, right here. I could just adjust this, guys. Give me 1 minute. Where are you? I should have done this before. Wait. Here we go. Zoom. Boom. Okay. So, shalom, brothers. Okay, it seems something that when you come to the revelation that we have a greater purpose, the world puts description on a way to stop you from seeking. I love that statement. I love that statement. Absolutely. Shalom, shalom. Bless you, brother. Legit 1116. Okay. You always support and I appreciate you, brother. So these are what I kind of, I looked around and kind of, and there was many videos out there, and they came across a different perspective. But this is kind of like my own perspective. I kind of agree with these. I took out what I didn't like or add what I liked. And you guys let me know. We're going to open up the lines in a few minutes. If people want to call in, if they may disagree, if they may also want to add to the list. I only came up with 5. So let's get here. Let me do this. Where are you? Okay, over here. All right, perfect. Look at that. So nice. All right, so here we go. So let's go to the number, the 5 reasons why I believe that if us dealing with these type of issues, it may not be that you're crazy. It may not be that you're loco. It may not be that you're strange. It may not be that something's wrong with you. You're not in your purpose. And then that's the reason why you just feel weird. You feel out of place. You feel somehow that you don't fit in and you're trying to fit in. Now more than ever, in time and history, that like-minded people can come together and form some unity to the point that it will be a unique people, because it's not quantity that I'm looking for. It's quality of brotherhood. I know back in the days, you give me 2-3 guys in my neighborhood that I was rocking with. We'll put our head together. We can almost do anything. You got people that, go, there is a power. There is an energy that forms when men come together and just hanging out with one another. And I think they're trying to minimize that. I think men should proactively seek time with other men and connect with other men. I think it's healthy. I think it's good. And if you you don't find your niche, you don't find your clique, find your clique, find your gang, find your wolf pack. If this show is not your wolf pack, it's men going God's way, it's not your wolf pack, it's okay. Because we're looking for quality, not quantity. So, um, possibility number one that you may be chosen, one of the chosen one. Let's go to it. First one is you don't fit in. You somehow never really are comfortable around others, and that's something that's always been that you have to adjust. I read a book of psychology years ago, and it mentions that people have different faces, different masks. Some psychiatrists would call it different hats, different masks that you put in. You have a mask for your job. You have a mask for your relationship. You have a mask for your friendship. You have a mask for your family. Everybody has a mask, a certain beatitudes, if you will, that you transform, even slightly, depending on the environment that you're in, and that's okay. It's just part of our survival mechanism. But I believe that those that are chosen to do a path always suffer from these issues. They don't fit in. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that does not fit in is a chosen one, but everyone who is a chosen one don't fit in. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's go to the next one. You question everything. And this one really resonated with me because I question everything. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe everybody just tell me. I have to see evidence. Some people say, I'm doubting Thomas, right? But what people didn't need to understand, I have full faith in Christ. I have full faith in the God of the Bible. I just don't have full faith in men. It's a difference. So if you question everything, you may be one of the chosen, a chosen one, right? This is a good thing. Don't let people make you feel that something's wrong with you because you always want to know how things work, why things work. Why is this policy? Why is this law here? Why do you do that? Why do you, act that way? Why is this here? Why is that there? I'm curious by nature, right? There's an old saying, curiosity killed the cat, but destiny brought it back, right? I just came up with that. I don't know. But anyway, if you question everything, you may be one of the chosen one, right? Life seems to be more challenging for you comparing to other people. Is that a possibility? Is that true? Is that, I think, and the reason why I think that's true, and the reason why I believe that this is something that it is right and it's exact, is because, let me just adjust this real quick, guys. Just bear with me. I'm trying to, I learn a new trick every day, and I always want to utilize it. And I'm so thankful that I'm not an old dinosaur, right? That I could figure this out. Here we go. Right? So, and what and I dealt with this, and then when I was young, I suffered from dyslexia. And dyslexia, it's like the best way to describe it, or my form of it, is that you get things backwards. So sometimes you notice I say the last word first and the first word last, because my brain is just wired different. So I gotta when I see something like a word or something I want to say, it comes in backwards. The best way to explain the way my mind works in regards to communication within myself, you see how Yoda speaks in Star Wars? He kind of like speaks kind of like the last word. He says it first. Afraid are you? Instead of it, you are afraid. He kind of, push the first word last and last word first. That's how my brain thinks. So it was hard for me to read or articulate certain terms because my brain is working extra hard to try to unscramble the words for allow me to say what I want to say. And eventually practice and, with some training. I gotta give a shout out to a young lady when I was like, I don't know, like maybe 15, 16. I went to an after school program and she was teaching me how to, and she was the one that figured it out that I was dyslexic. And then after that, once she identified the problem and I was able to see like, yeah, she's right. I think she has a point because she was able to articulate exactly all the issues. So once that happened, it was like a breakthrough. I was able to start rewiring my brain, right? So things are a little more difficult for you than others, right? It's always a challenge. And I think a lot of it is because you're always questioning, you're always overthinking things. And sometimes you have to drag yourself from doing what you want to do because there's no pleasure in this. You're just doing it to get a paycheck. You have no passion over it, and so forth, so on. So it takes a little longer. There's some challenges. These are the things that I put together and I extrapolate from other sources. And I think this is maybe a sign that you should look for. And it may be that you're not weird, you're not stupid, you're not strange. You may be one of the chosen. And you're not in your proper place. This is an old saying that everybody's a genius. It all depends in what circumstance you put them in for their genius gene to kick in. Is it true? Is it not? That's besides the point. But I see that people usually look better, feel better, are better when they're doing what they feel is their purpose, right? They work harder. Their mind works better, more clearly when you are doing something that you love and you feel this is purposeful. So maybe this is the reason why perhaps that you're not functioning well in society because you may be one of the chosen one. Number 4, you have an inner knowing of your perpetual potential to impact the world. Some people call it the saving or savior complex, right? You got you think that you take on the world, things that go wrong in the world. Let me just adjust this a little bit. 2 seconds, folks. Okay. Bang, there you go. And it may be a thing that you may feel this way, right? Because God, think about it. If God has chosen you for a path, he's going to put in the mechanics, the biological mechanics within your body, brain, your mind to eventually find yourself in your purpose, right? And when I mean you're a chosen one, I mean God has chosen you for a particular task, right? In the big scheme of things, right? God has chosen you to do something, and that's the reason why you feel you have a splinter in your mind driving you crazy, right? So maybe that's the reason why. Let's explore the space. Let's explore the reasons why people, are not achieving their full potential. You may be a chosen one, right? Number 5. There are moments when it feels as if someone or something is watching over you. There are moments, let me repeat that again. There are moments when it feels as someone or something is watching over you. You may be one of the chosen. It may be that you are a person that you're being watched, you're being monitored because they need to keep you safe, they need to keep you alive. To and that thing that you're chosen for, it may come later on in your life. It may come in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. And then everything that was going on in your life is God guiding you for your purpose. So if you feel these things, if you have these symptoms, you may be one of the chosen ones. You may be one of the guys that were called by God to do his will. What that is, right? I don't know. Joe don't say. But you may be a chosen one. So let's have a conversation about these 5 reasons. Is it something I miss? Is it something that I got wrong? Is it something else I could have added? Or is it something you want to take away? Please call the number, which is 267-358-0879, 267-358-0879. Or you could go into the Zoom and you want to come in, make sure you know, you're dressed and you're decent and you want to come on the show and we could have a conversation. Or you just, you know, hear me rant for an hour or so, right? This is not our rest. This is not our home. And I believe, part of the reasons why many African American Latinos gravitate to the Israelite concept or ideology is because there is something special about us in general. And I truly believe this. I truly believe that there is certain people, certain races that are just different. And I'm exploring the space in regards of are all human beings the same? Yes, we all have a heart, 2 legs, 2 eyes, ears, so forth, so on. But there's, you know, if God just changed a little DNA here and there, it could drastically means volumes, right? There is difference in races. There is difference in people. And there's something special about us in America, black and brown people of color. And this is no shout out, and this is no shots to Europeans or people of other race, you know, people from India, people from China, Russia. Shout out to you brothers out there. But this is how I feel. And maybe I'm being biased because I subscribe to the Israelite concept, right? And what I'm trying to encourage and trigger my audience is to, if you have a splinter in your mind, if these things that I mentioned, right, are something that you question, you know, you don't fit in, you question everything. It seems that things are more challenging from you than other people's. You can't get it, right? In certain things, because you know you don't work well with others. You have an inner knowing, right? Of you, the potential of you impacting the world. And think about it. People that impact the world, we're just regular people doing something that they felt it was right. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and others within our community. You have, all these revolutionary men that died, right, and wanted to do something for humanity, right? They were just regular people. I wonder if people like Martin Luther King, the Malcolm X of the world, I forgot the guy from not Chavez. I forgot the other guy. His name is Leave Me. I gotta start doing more pictorials and conversation about Latino heroes and Latino folks that have given up their life and their sacrifice for the greater good, right? Do these men that I just mentioned, did they had in a knowing of their potential for impacting the world, right? That they felt somebody was watching them, right? Over them, because sometimes just weird things happens to me that secret, I can't say that word. Forgive me. Is in my mind, and that's what the whole dyslexia. You have it, but you can't say it out. But you know the words, you just can't say it out. So forgive me for my handicap. But when something happens to you, I can't find the word right now. It'll come to me. Synchronicity. Synchronicity is when a cycle. There's a cycle of things. There's certain universal rules, and you haven't been in a scenario that you had a dream about something, and then that dreams, happens. And like insignificant. It could have been you could have a dream about, eating grapes or something, and then you wake up, somebody offers you grapes and so forth, so on. There was a scientist, and I should have maybe done more research for the show. I think that would have been a good conversation. And this is how, matter of fact, Robert F. Kennedy, who's running for office, he is the nephew of J.F. Kennedy. Robert Kennedy, his father also got killed. And he said that's how he came to God or came to some spiritual awakening, because he was addicted to drugs and in his 20s, and he had to get out of that. And there were certain events in his life that kind of guide him, or peculiarly they direct him to that scenario. And he read a book that dealt with universal patterns and universal rules, that when a universal pattern or universal rule is broken, it gets challenged, that's God trying to send you a sign, right? Because the universe or the chances that you will have a dream and then about a person, and then that person comes in your life the next day, you haven't seen him for 10 years, and so forth, so on. The experts are saying that it's like one of a quadrillion million chance that would happen. So some scientists are saying that could be evidence of God when the universal rules are broken, laws are broken. And that's happened to me. And it's a thing that you cannot prove or disprove. It's just peculiar. Only you could say, you know what, maybe God is trying to talk to me and tell me something, right? I was dreaming about this situation, and then I'm going through the same situation that I'm going through. And yes, I don't want to go in too deep into it, because I don't want it to be a situation that this is a conversation that this is evidence that you are chosen by God. If you believe in these things, you don't fit in, and you always ask questions, and you have an inner purpose to impact the world, and so forth, so on. It could be absolutely nothing. It could just be, a thing that is a coincidence. This is my theory, that you may be a chosen one. God is the chess player, and we are the chessboard, and we are the pawns, and the rooks, and the queen, and the king, and the all the other characters in the chessboard, and he's moving us, right? We think we have free will, in a sense of, well, let me reframe that. Let me apologize. We do have free will. But within the free will, God still guard your steps, right? God still guard your steps. So the question is, are you chosen, right? Are you chosen? Is God has, let me go into, I believe the book of Luke, if I'm not mistaken, towards the end, the child grew. Let me just get the scripture. Bear with me. That's it. Does it come to mind? It says, and there that heart saying whether the okay. No, that's not it. I'll get it in a few minutes. Scripture, and I'm pretty sure if I quoted you guys, there's a scripture that the Most High guard your steps, and I have to, and thank God that I began to do the law class, because, within the scripture, if you don't use it, you will lose it. You gotta be constantly reading the scriptures, and the way, it has worked for me is being in a situation that I got to be constantly have to read the scriptures, right? So that's why part of me doing the Men Going God's Way law class is to get me back into the swinging things of reading the Bible, right? And so it is a blessing when you see the world for what it really is. It is a blessing when you know that everybody else is asleep and you are awakening. However, though, it's a curse. It's also a burdensome. It's something that, when you don't fit in, when you are the odd man out, that's also challenging. It's also a challenge. That's what 79. That's the one I was looking for. Luke 179. Where are you? 79. Okay, let me start at 78. And it says, through the tender mercy of our God, whereby the day spring from on high, which visited us. But this is the one I'm looking for. To give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death. To guide our feet into the way of peace. Right? So we all are trying to find a path. We all in the darkness, try to make our way. We're looking for the light. We're looking for, we out there trying to make sense of our world. And yes, we have free will. Yes, we have the ability to do good and evil. That authority, that power, God gave to us. God didn't want slaves. He didn't want mindless robots. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have mind, but I'm not God. His wisdom is a bit beyond mine. But God do guide your steps. And that's the point I'm trying to bring out in regards of, are you chosen for something that you have not found the purpose why you're chosen? Are you chosen for something? Right? So, and God has chosen you, and you one of the chosen one. Now, chosen for what? I don't know. You have to figure that out. God, that's between you and God. But finding your purpose, finding your home, right? And your purpose may not always be that you are going to be the leader. It may be you may be the follower. You may just bring your purpose is to be in your corner, doing your work, presenting your bricks for the kingdom, and that's where you are the happiest and more content and more purposeful. I don't know, but part of this could be that you haven't found your purpose. But even when you have not yet found your purpose, um, you haven't found the reasons why God has chosen and what you're chosen. You haven't find the reasons why you're chosen, why the Most High has chosen you. You still gotta get on your game, because I believe many are called. It's a tryouts. The word call is translated or could be translated as invited. Many are invited, but only a few are chosen. And you could be called and not chosen. How is it that you could be called and not chosen? This is my theory, and I want to hear your thoughts. I believe that if you're in a situation that you are being called, which is the many, but you're not happy, you're not content, you don't fit in anywhere. You could go into the spiral of depression. You could go into a spiral of numbness and wanting to get yourself numb and get caught up with alcoholism and drugs and women and just numbing yourself because you don't want to face yourself, right? And maybe the people are going through that. The reason why they are going through that is because they are being called and they don't get it. But they are not chosen. I always wonder about that scripture. Many are called, but few are chosen. Right? Many are called, but few are chosen. Let me just get this. What's the scripture there? Here we go. It's verse 14, but let's start at verse 1. Right? Let's start at verse 1. Because I love these parables, and we should always look into these parables to see if we missed something from last time. Right? Matthew 22, verse 1. And the Savior answered and spake unto again by parable and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the wedding. But they might not, but they made light of it, and there was one in his farm and another in his merchandise, right? And Raymond took his servants and entreated them peacefully, and slayed them, right? Let me jump down to verse 9. Because I want to get to the meat and potatoes. It says, and go, verse 9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid them to the wedding, right? And those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests, right? And the king came to see the guests and saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how canst thou to hide having a wedding garment? And he was speechless, right? So he was like, he went and we're like, hey, there's a wedding, right? I mean, you should dress up, right? And he was speechless. And obviously, the moral of the story is because the servants just went to gather everybody, right? Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, I wonder why Christ brought it up this way, right? He called the people that were already invited to the wedding. They were supposed to come to the wedding. And when they chose not to come because they were too busy, the king told, just take anybody and bring him in. And then he saw somebody that was dressed inappropriate, and he cast them out to outer darkness, right? And right after that, he says, for many are called, but few are chosen. So does anybody wants to maybe take crack on this particular parable? What the Christ was trying to say, right? So if many are called, few are chosen. But the backdrop of that statement is that there was a wedding, and the people that are supposed to have been in the wedding didn't want to show up because they were too busy. And then he told his servants, go elsewhere and get anybody. And I think I got a caller. Let me bring them in. Let me adjust this real quick. Hold on Zoom. Okay. Let me merge calls. Okay. Okay. I think we got you, brother. You live. What you got to add to this conversation, brother? Shalom.
Shalom, Elder Gabal. I'm actually know you. I don't know if you remember Brother Berry.
Brother Billy, your voice sounds familiar. Your voice sounds familiar.
Yeah. I'm older now, but I was young. You baptized me.
Yeah, I should have taken a picture with everybody I baptized, but that's that's here and there. But how we doing, brother?
I'm doing very well, very well. I just had something to add on the many are called, few are chosen, right?
Yes.
Right here, as a matter of fact, when you go to Matthew 13, I think he explains very well that many are called, few are chosen. Matthew 13, when you go into, I'll just read, let's see. Yeah, I'll just read from 1 all the way till 9.
Okay. And I want to hear your reading and bring it forth your understanding. Brother Daniel Jonathan, are you in? I'm going to stay tight. You next on the queue. But go ahead, brother.
Got you. All right. The many are called, few are chosen, right? He said, that same day went Yahshua out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. Right? And I'm bringing this out because the many are called part, like you said, it's a tryout. It's like a tryout.
Right, okay.
Or an invitation, right? So he said, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, And forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some and hundredfold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who has ears to hear, let him hear. So then they came to him and asked him, what does that mean? The disciples, right?
Yes.
In verse 10, so 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whoever hath not, for him shall be taken away, even that he had.
Yeah.
Well, not there, but yeah, the seeds. I think the seeds are the ones that's called, which is obviously the prophets, and then the waves of the world chokes them out. When trouble comes, which is the sun coming up and scorching the seeds, they wither away.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were called to this, so it was like a trial. So they were called to this, but they didn't make the cut. So now they withered away. So that's
but you
like
know how I feel that Christ is trying to show us? He's trying to help his people identify the personality types to look out for, to kind of give you a synopsis of this is what you're going to go into. So if this happened, it's because all these are like personality types. The sow and the seed, the ones that land in stony ground, other in good ground, other in the west side. And Brother Jonathan, if you could maybe mute your phone and I'm muted, because I think, are you outside?
Got you. My fault. Fault.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
What's up?
Okay. Thank you, brother. So I think Christ was trying to give us clues, and we got to keep reading these parables, because we're always getting new information, right? And maybe he's giving us an understanding and dealing with our to look out for personality types and to guide you, like the scripture says, he guides our feet right to the right purpose. And
that's right.
Absolutely. But Brother Daniel, I know you wanted to come in. What you got to add to this conversation, brother? Stay with me, because I want to have just a quick, a back and forth with the brothers today.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. And brother Daniel, you there? I know you.
Yeah, what's up, big bro?
What's going on, Captain? So what you got to add to this conversation? What do you think? I'm onto something. Is people that have these personalities that can't fit in, that they always ask questions or question why things work, and they seems to have a challenge, working with fitting in. They have it like an inner knowing that they're supposed to do something for the world or impact the world. If I'm overstepping here, if I'm saturating, if I'm out of line, let me know. What say you?
No, what you said definitely, it's not textbook. It's straight observation, good observation. I was getting ready for work, and you were describing me going down the list, and these are things that I've known for a very long time. Like, growing up, I've always looked the part, I sound the part, but I was just always different. I don't make friends easily. I can talk to people. I can vibe with people. I know how to move in a room full of people. I'm approachable, personable, but all of my friends are predominantly brothers I grew up with. It's just weird, but I do believe that the Most High definitely chooses and calls his people. Like, I'm not depressed, but I can totally understand people that battle with depression. It's only because of my spiritual arsenal that I could, I know how to move against that.
Yeah.
But looking at me, you would think I'm living the life. That's how people view me. But I'm a loner. It's very interesting, and it really is like a gift and a curse.
Yeah. Now, do you feel that
You
you
know,
have found? Do you feel that you have found your purpose yet, or do you feel that you're still searching, and you still need to work that out, or you're working that out? If that makes sense.
I've always known my purpose. Obviously, it's to propel the faith.
Yeah.
The things that I haven't worked out yet is how is the Most High going to do that in the midst of me taking care of my daily responsibilities, because I'm a man still and I'm in this earth. I have to work, have to take care of my kid. I have to take care of, the loved ones around me.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't see how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm wasting my life, but my life is fruitful.
Yeah.
It's bugged out.
Now, yeah, I
It's
know
a
exactly.
real bugged out scenario.
No. Listen, I know exactly what you're saying. It's like this. America keeps you working, gives you just enough money that you could you could breathe, you could pay your bills, but then you got to go to work every day to just make sure you maintain your lifestyle. And I believe that is by design. So, part of the reason why I started Men Going God's Way is, is a life coach or empowerment, group that helps each other, and it's a network as well, right? We men need to figure out a way how to get out the matrix, and we need to have a healthy relationship with money, in the sense that we need to know how it works, know how to make it, that you're not enslaved to it. Because I know exactly how you feel. Listen, there's so many things that I want to do with Men Going God's Way, the podcast and things of that nature, but I got to work. I got a family. I got to this. I'm not complaining about it, but I used to understand that America kind of set you up to kind of not find your purpose, because you're too busy just paying your bills and you don't have any time to dedicate to your purpose, right? That's why a man, your time, you should always fill in your time with purposeful things in your calendar, because you don't have a lot of time to begin with. Because if you are chosen for a path and you don't know what is that path, you have to explore different parts of life to find your purpose. But if you're stuck in your town, you're stuck in your neighborhood, you're stuck in your job, you can't travel, you can't explore the space to find out what has God chosen you for. Because the minute you find it, you're like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for.
Right.
But if you don't expose yourself to that, you will never find that. And I think it's by design. And that's why I want men to start networking and start saying, okay, how can I make the most amount of income with the least amount of time so I could find my purpose? What say you?
I mean, I think that's a good, that's one of the methods. That's a sound method. I personally, I can't totally subscribe to that, like, for myself personally, because I'm not built like that. Like, I'm an old-fashioned type of dude. I make my bread by the sweat of my brow. I can't sit behind a computer. I'm not wasting my time going to school, to learn I came from a monkey. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And no disrespect to any of the brothers, know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That get it that way, but that's not me. I'm not motivated, but I'm not motivated by the money, by the lifestyle and the purpose driven. Or that's not me. It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like I'm a soldier, but I'm looking. I'm a soldier. I'm fighting, but I feel like I'm dolo out here. Like I got my homeboy. Like that's what I'm good for. I found something to live and die for. Like that's it.
Right, but you're trying to figure that what to live and die for. You haven't find that, or you feel you have.
I found it, but it's like what you elaborated on. Like my time. I work overnight. You know what I mean? Then I get my real bread through overtime in the morning.
Right,
So by the time I get home in the early afternoon, I'm tired. Now I got my regimen. You know, I read 4 books a day, 20 minutes each book. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I exercise. I've been doing all that. But it's like Father, like when we gonna get this popping?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's just
but
that's
network,
just,
you know,
that's
because
not.
but listen, network and find your group, right? If it's not men going God's way, find a group or start a group, right? Find your clan, find your wolf pack, and build from there. Because I understand, and I think more and more each generation, men do not. I mean, the society, the powers that be, do not want men to come together. Because I think
Not at all.
there's an electricity that happens when men of like-minded mind come together. There's an energy force that is in the room. And I believe that energy force in the room is Christ. For those that believe in Christ or believe in God. Right? Because what the Christ says is 2 or more are gathered in my name, I'm in the midst of thee. So you get excited when you come together. Like I remember when I come together with some of the brothers from Men Going God's Way, and we talking and we're exercising together, and we building, and we come with a different idea. It's like a rush and a high, because you're coming together with men doing something that everybody wants to do, likes to do, and it is something good. It's like it feels good to do something good for others. It's almost it's like a rush to the mind. So I understand what you're going through, brother. I understand precisely. It's like finding that niche, you know, and like I said, if you haven't found your organization, found one, make one. So it's like, okay, what's needed? What is needed in society? What will make me feel fulfilled and purposeful, right? And you'll be surprised. It doesn't matter how crazy you think your feelings are. There's probably thousands of people feeling the same way. You just got to find them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Go ahead, brother. I'll let you say the last word. Go ahead.
I mean, it's really not much to say. Like I said, this conversation is something you're publicly speaking about. You're publicly holding a conversation that I've been communicating within myself for years, since I was a kid. You know, and I'm just waiting. I aspire to be a good soldier, and we gonna see. You know, I'm in the Bronx too. You know, I've been working out at home the past couple of months because they shut my gym down in my neighborhood. But I think I'm gonna give the organization, the Wolf Pack, a try. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's gonna be an end to the means, but you know, just for the sake of the fellowship.
Yeah.
I don't know how a tiger, you know.
Yeah, like I said, brother. Like sometimes the best way to know whether a jacket fits is to put it on, right? And sometimes, you know, you may. It's like every wrong road you take it brings you closer to the right road. Because if you got like 3 or 4 roads to go, right, and the one in the middle is the right one, and you go to the one in the right, you go to the one in the left, and then you decide, okay, let me go to the one in the middle, and you'll say, okay, I went to the one in the left, and I came back. That was a waste of time. No, it wasn't, because now you know that road is the wrong path. It's a dead end. You got more data now. Now you're zeroing in. Okay, I got 2 other roads. Which one? And let's say you pick, the one on the far right, and that's wrong. And you come back. Oh, I'm wasting my time. No, you didn't. Now you know. Okay, these 2 paths are wrong. Now I gotta find. Now I could narrow it down. So every failure, I tried this organization, I tried this job, I tried this, what have you. It gives you data now. You are smarter for it. Every failure gets you closer to the next victory. So, try us out. Send us an email. All the information is below. You're in the Bronx. We do have another brother in Long Island and also in Staten Island that we're going to be working with. It's Men Going God's Way is a global organization for men to help men, and hopefully men can find their wolf pack. Well, thank you, brother, for joining us. Any last words?
Nah. Thank you. And continue to do what you're doing. The Most High got 7,000 more of us.
Amen.
And
Amen.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what you're doing, man.
All right, thank you, brother. Thank you. That's Brother Daniel there. All praise. Do we still have Brother Darcy? I can't pronounce your name. I don't know what they have here. The other brother was in before. Call in. The brother.
Me, yeah. Brother Berry.
Pronounce your name one more time, brother.
Berry.
Barry. Okay. It has you with Barry. It has you with a D here. Barry. But Barry. Okay.
No,
right.
Berry. ABIRI. Berry.
Okay. So your brother, how old are you, if you don't mind asking?
I'm 26.
Okay, you're 26. So I baptized you. How old were you when you got baptized by me?
Ooh, I was.
Well, you baptized yourself. I was just assisting, because everybody willingly takes on upon that step. But how old when you first took the dip?
I was like 16 or 17.
Wow.
Elder.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
We went over there to one of the, I think, not Orchard Beach. It wasn't that one. It was I forgot which beach it was, but that was back when when we was in the Bronx, right there on 3rd Avenue.
Well, that's a blessing, man. Wow, time flies. My God, 26 years old. Oh my God. So, how things been since the baptism? Has it been hard, easier?
It's been up and down. I mean, what the scriptures say: what a righteous man falls 7 times but gets up 8. Yeah. I mean, hasn't been. I ain't gonna say it's been easy, but who said being in the truth was gonna be easy? The Most High never said that. All He said, the Most High, what He does is give you the tools. That's why Hamashiach told us, and only those who endure to the end will be saved.
Yeah.
Because He told us what we was gonna face. He said, if they hate you in my name, He told us we was gonna be hated in His name.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but I'm here now. I'm standing, still standing strong, living faithfully. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother, for supporting the show.
Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Send out. Anytime you want to talk, send me an email. We chop it up and so forth, so on.
Of course.
Because brothers, we need each other. We need to talk and there's we don't need to go to these shrinks. All you need is a friend that understands what you're going to and other men. That's why I always tell brothers, you should always have friends that are at least 10 years older than you and have other friends that are at least 10 years younger than you. So then you have 2 decades of things, right? Because sometimes, you could have certain things that a good example is brother Iron One. He's I think in his 30s, but the brother had wisdom behind his years, and he is from like this generation, not my generation, so he could see things from a different perspective. So you always should have people around you that are like-minded, but more important, keep you honest and have some form of accountability. If you got a group of friends that you grew up in high school or you grew up in your neighborhood or whatever, you should always have a guide code. You should have something that defines your friendship, right? It should, because different people may have different guide codes or different perspective of what does it mean. Okay, what is out of line? What's in, so for someone, and you should build from that because there's power in unity among men and brotherhood. You could build together, trust each other. You build a small army of defense against things that when things hit the fan, you have your wolf pack. You got your Green Berets out there that you could start maneuvering. You have now a network of people. Brother, any last word? Oh, I think he hanged up. So thank you, brother, for your sharing your wisdom and your understanding. But let me just say this, guys. If you have friends that don't have any code, if you have friends that, sometimes, you can't trust them around certain people, or you doubt them in a way that you're conscious about it, you probably have to get better friends. And I think exploring, networking, and I know we all work, and we sometimes we're so busy, we don't have time for ourselves. I truly believe that every man, especially now, should have certain things that you do, regardless where you are, regardless what situation you're in. I believe you should be physically fit. I believe you should work out and be purposeful in your working out. They've done some studies that working out. Matter of fact, let me play this video real quick. I want to play this video because a lot of people are thinking this is all about not gluttonous, vanity, right? Looking good, blah blah blah. No, it's not. I don't get caught up with vanity type of situation. See, with me, when I was in my 20s, I was always training for a fight, a competition, a kickboxing match, an MMA match, a grappling match. That was my thing. Once that was no longer a thing, it was hard for me to hit the gym. Matter of fact, when you look at my pictures, when I was at USCC, I was a little heavier than I am now, right? And because it was hard for me to hit the gym because I needed the way my brain was wired. I don't like, I like looking good like everybody else, but that was not enough motivating factor for me. But now, seeing what's going on in the world, okay, and looking at that this country may collapse, and we as Bible believers, those that believe the Bible, that America believe that the Bible mentions America as Babylon, and God told His people to leave Babylon, get out of her, my people, whether it be mentally, physically, or both, right? Whatever it may be, psychologically, get out of her, my people, right? That's what's making me motivated to hit the gym. I just turned 51 last week, man, and I was grappling yesterday with some guys, in their 20s and holding my own and said, okay, I still got it. And it's not for ego. I truly believe we have to be mentally strong. And I think the best way to keep your mental strength intact, you got to challenge yourself. You got to get beat up. Yeah, I got caught with some arm bars, or I catch something, they catch something. It's you learn from every failure, right? Hey, what I got caught with that? What could I do? The next time? And you just build. Jiu-jitsu is one of the things that is the least ego sport. Because you're gonna get choked out, you're gonna get caught with an arm bar, you're gonna get caught with a rear naked choke. It's just part of life. Those that sometimes come with an ego, these gym bros, and they hit the gym, the jiu-jitsu, hit the mat, and a guy who's like 175 pounds is just mopping the floor with him. His ego cannot take it. So it's a very humbling exercise. So let me play this video because I want to give you the importance that even science is now catching up with this data. Fair use. Well, let me.
Finding of the last decade. Your muscles, they secrete chemicals and proteins when you exercise that are also really good for your brain health. And one of the first papers, almost 10 years ago, that was published explaining that when you contract your muscles, they literally secrete these proteins into your bloodstream that make you resilient to stress and can protect you from depression. The scientists called them hope molecules. This idea that literally your muscles are manufacturing like antidepressant molecules. And the only way to get them into your bloodstream where they can then travel to your brain is you have to contract your muscles. Like that's it. But your muscles it's like a pharmacy, and anything you do that contracts them, walking, hiking, running, dancing, weightlifting, swimming, anything, you are going to be dumping hope molecules into your bloodstream that when they get to your brain, they work as an antidepressant, and they also help people recover from trauma. Like that's like a miracle. And this is I think the most.
And see, your brain tells you already. It's like I hear this, that now they have discovered that when people do exercise, it actually helps you against depression. It helps you if you go into a trauma, God forbid, there was a car accident, you're homeless, you lost your job, you find out that you had cancer, whatever it may be. Science has shown that people that decide whether you got some unreversible illness, like cancer, you got it for life. Even if you work out, it would block out and it will activate defenses for you being depressed, right? Because if you get caught up with lupus or cancer, or you lose your leg or an accident, it's an depressing event. Living in America can be depressing at certain groups, certain demographics. Poverty itself brings forth the depression. Hit the gym, work out, find a sport that you like, and challenge yourself. Challenge your body to do something that's hard, whatever it is: running, jogging, basketball. Give yourself a task. It's good for the brain. It's good for the soul, and it will protect you from depression. And I think, it's a situation that we are looking at this as like, oh, this is a new discovery. But I knew this. Your body tells you. I've been in a situation that I felt sluggish or didn't feel like good. And I said, let me hit the gym. And then didn't want to go to the gym, but forced myself. And after I finished, I would feel like $1,000,000. I was like, what the heck I was sad about? The body's a beautiful thing. You just got to fix it. You got to just figure it out. Right? There's a reason why certain things happen. And when you hear it, it makes sense to you because your body already knew. Your brain already knew it. Somebody needed to tell it to you for you could say, oh, that's the reason why. It's like you knew it before you knew it. And, I am more happy today than I ever been in my life. The older I get, I don't have it like I used to. I'm not as young. I'm not as strong, as fast. You get to decline, but I got wisdom and I got experience. And, I've been in situations. Jiu-jitsu is a good example. When I am competing against guys who are white belts and blue belts, and they're in their 20s and 30s, I have to rely on my experience, not my strength, because they could match my strength. Clearly not my speed, because they could, not only match it, but surpass my speed. I had to rely on my experience. And you know what? Experience goes a long way. Experience goes a long way. Value experience, young men. That's why I always tell young men, surround yourself with older men. Surround yourself around accomplished men. Surround yourself with men that are in a better circumstance than you're in. Learn from them. Become a pupil. If you're hanging out with your same friends, you're hanging out with the same crowd, and they in the same corner, the same thing every month, every day, every year, it could get contagious. So I hope this video helped. I hope this video enlightened you. Give yourself a break, man, because the reason why maybe you don't feel right in where you at, it's because you haven't found your calling. Maybe God has chosen you for something you haven't yet figure it out. So until next time, may the Most High keep you, may the Most High watch you, and Shalom.